Hello everyone. We're going to look at an example problem for applications dealing with the systems of equations in two variables. What we have here, a plane travels 600 miles in 3 hours. So 600 miles in 3 hours. And it does this against the wind. So let me just mark that too. With the wind, it can travel 780 miles. Okay, so this one's going with the wind in the same amount of time. So same amount of time. And what it's asking is it wants me to find the speed of the wind, and the speed of the plane. Okay, so these are going to be my variables in neutral air. So we'll just say that the speed of the plane is x and the speed of the wind is y. So in looking at this, we're going to turn around and we're going to make us up a table. We have what we're dealing with here is that I know my variables x and y, and I know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with distance and time. So that's how my stuff is going to correlate. And for this type of problem, it is going to be, I need to point this out, for like the speed of the plane with wind, so it's going with the wind, will simply be x plus y, because the plane's going with the wind. So here's my wind blowing through, and then my airplane, horrible airplane, but there's my airplane flying along with it. Okay, it's going with the wind. And then speed of the plane against the wind will simply be the speed of the plane minus the wind. The wind's blowing against the plane as it's going. Okay, and the key thing to look at with this is what we're going to talk about is with this problem, I already know we're going to deal with the rate. We're dealing with the rate for this problem. I'll write that there. This is a rate. And what we're looking at is miles per, that's what the vinculum is, the line for a fraction, hour. So we have distance and time. This is what we're looking at. The rate is distance divided by time. So let's set up our stuff. So first one we're going to have is I'll just label it with and against. That's our comparative factor in dealing with those. So I know I'm dealing with some kind of rate just by the information that they've given to me in the problem. So I know that I have, those are going to be my categories for my table. I'm going to do rate and distance and time. And just to make sure, miles and hours. Alright, so with the wind, I'm x plus y. Against the wind, I'm x minus y. Again, speed of the plane. The plane's going to go faster with the wind. The plane is going to go slower against the wind. My distances, well, with the wind, 780 miles. Against the wind, 600 miles. Time traveled, so it traveled 780 miles in the same amount of time. What was that time? 3 hours. So they're both 3 hours. And generally, if we just look at this and really don't have to be critical in thought, But just using common sense, this makes sense. The plane that's traveling with the wind can go a greater distance in the same amount of time than a plane that's going against the wind. So, my information, at least to me, appears to be solid. So, this is my rate. My rate equals my distance divided by time. So, for equation 1, x plus y equals my distance divided by time. Remember, rate, that's r. This is d, this is t. My rate is x plus y. My distance is 780. My time is 3. Distance is d, time is t. And this is with the wind. This is equation 1. X minus y equals 600, distance, divided by my time 3, time 3. And that is equation 2. And I've set up my equation, my system of equations. Now I simply need to solve. 3 will go into that. What, 260? And that's 200. Well, I'm going to add them together because I have opposite signs with the same variable. So I end up with 2x equals 460. So x equals 230. I take that value and I plug it into one of the equations. So I say 230 plus y equals 260. Y equals 30. So for my rate, what I am looking at is that with the wind, I'll write it up here, with the wind, right, with the wind, I'm looking at going 260 and against the wind I'm looking at going 200. I just took that, I said 230 plus 30, 260, and against I took my 230 and I subtracted it from 30, or subtracted from it 30. And those are my speeds, miles per hour. All right, guys. Again, it's the unfamiliarity with setting these up. It takes practice. Once you get to where you identify your variables and you identify the other two factors that are in there, then it's kind of a pattern once you start to realize how these work. So critically think and structure your homework, and good luck on solving these types of problems.